Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of On the Prowl. I'm Everett German, the voice of the Cougars, and well, on today's episode, we're going to talk about men's basketball, but a different perspective, from a walk-on perspective. Joining me, my main guy, Joey Scarpitti from Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, that's you. What's up, man?
Believe land.
Believe land. That's
Yeah.
right. Joey Scarpitti, number 33 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Joey, welcome to the podcast, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Excited to be here. I'm excited I got asked to do this, and yeah, excited to give some insight, I guess.
Sounds like a plan to me, Joey. Let's jump into it. You're from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
Home of, obviously, LeBron James.
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming you're a Browns fan.
Yes.
Are you a dog pound guy?
Unfortunately, sometimes, but yes, yeah, I am a Browns guy.
How did you find the College of Charleston?
Yeah, so my story's pretty unique. So basically, I went to a all-boys Catholic school called St. Ed's in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was more recruited by like Division III schools and Division II schools in my home state. But kind of one thing I always wanted to do coming out of high school was just like expand my horizons, kind of really if that was basketball or not at the time. So my senior year was a little hard for me. Like I didn't really know if I wanted to play basketball in college, just because a lot of my options were really close to home, and I kind of wanted to go south, go somewhere warm, coming from Cleveland. And basically, I had applied to a ton of schools in the fall, and I applied to 3 schools to not play basketball for. One was here, the other one was Miami, and the other one was University of Tampa, so 3 schools that were kind of south.
Right.
And it ended up working out where Coach Mack is an Ohio guy. He got the job here. My high school coach had known him. They weren't that close, but my high school coach kind of just cold called him, kept bugging him, I think, a lot. And at the time, he had just gotten the job. I had gotten accepted here via admissions in the fall, so now it's like the spring. Didn't really know where I wanted to go.
Right.
And then it worked out for me where Coach Mack kind of just took a shot in the dark with me. He had no idea who I was. He knew that I was coming from like a pretty good high school program, and he knew my high school coach, and my high school coach was, I think, very complimentary of me. So he just took a shot in the dark, and I took it in an absolute heartbeat, and it's been the greatest experience of my life.
Now, make no bones about it. You got buckets in high school. You averaged about 13, 14 points in high school. It usually think of walk-ons like, yeah, guys that, really smart in the classroom, which, obviously you are, but you can play. I think back to this summer, Joey, I was kind of hit and miss and around a little bit, and everybody kept telling me probably the best player right now this summer is Joey Scarpitti. He was cooking people. Talk about your game, man, because, you got game.
Yeah. I can play a little. I'm known to be a shooter when I got here. I think I just like randomly got better at shooting like the first month I got here, and then like my confidence went through the roof, and ever since then I've been shooting the crap out of the ball. So that's helped. Scout team, I can play point guard. I can run the floor a little bit, play some good defense. High IQ guy, I think, especially for walk on. You might get into it, but it's a lot of like scouting.
Yeah.
So like having a really good IQ is really essential. And I think I can handle the ball pretty well. But just being a team guy, being for everybody. But I'd say shooting's probably my best attribute.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, Joey, because a lot of people may not realize, but as a scout team player and a walk-on as well, not only are you forced to know our offense and our sets, but essentially you have to know the opponent's offense. And sometimes that could be on a, one-day prep if it's between Thursday and a Saturday game, or if you have a couple of days. But, you have to really be mentally tough, have a high basketball IQ to be a walk-on because of the role that you play in terms of getting the starters ready for the game.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of different looks. Every team gives a different thing. You see similarities when you get in like CAA play. You play teams twice, so it makes it a little easier. But yeah, every team has different styles. You got to learn those really quick. That comes through film, assistant coaches have really good scouting plans. You know, you kind of walk through before, after practice sometimes, learn what they're doing. And you just give the guys that are going to play, you want to give them as close to a look as what they're going to see in the game. Because, you know, practice, repetition makes perfect. And I think when you give guys as good of looks as we can, it makes the game a whole lot easier.
You know, you could see why in today's college climate, why you would want to play college basketball.
Yeah.
Whether, you know, you get to actually play, have an opportunity to play, you know, in the NBA or professionally overseas. Of course, now you got the motivation of, you know, NIL money. Why for a walk-on? You practice, you have to do everything the scholarship guys do. You don't get the glamour. Talk about the mindset of being a walk-on, because it's not a lot of fun, but you've embraced it and you really do a good job at what you do.
Yeah. I think walk-ons is really circumstantial, I would say. I've known other people that are walk-ons, and I think here has been a great experience. I think half of being a walk-on is like the practicing and like you're not gonna play. I knew that coming in. I was fine with it, but I think the other half is just like how you're treated as a walk-on, how you're treated. Everything really off the court is more what I care about, like from the coaches, from my teammates, and they've been nothing short but like great to me. Coach Mack and the rest of the staff. Ever since I got here, they welcomed me with absolutely open arms. My teammates from last year to this year, you know, they all accept me and they all root me on, and they're probably my biggest fans just as much as I'm their biggest fan. They want to win by 30 sometimes. So right now me and AJ can get in.
Right.
So yeah, it's more about how you're treated, and I've been really blessed in that area. Like the rigor wise, yeah, it's a lot. You have to balance school, basketball, but it is a really cool experience. All the places I've seen in the last 2 years, like that alone, places that I would never go to in my entire life, probably Hawaii, the Virgin Islands, you know, Florida a few times. It's just been really, really cool. Boston, stay downtown all the time, get really good food. And it's just really cool to be a part of a team. I really just want to be a part of a team. I think teams have so many parallels to like life, I feel like, and like shared humanity. Like you all want to work as one. That has so much translation to like later in life when I get a job, and other things like family. But yeah, it's been really, really, really cool.
You know, word on the street for you, Mr. Scarpitti, is if you weren't playing basketball, you could possibly be a scholarship track player, or track participant in terms of distance, because you are an avid runner. Like apparently, I think you probably run more, probably one day a week than probably I have in probably the last 3 or 4 or 5 decades. Not decades, because obviously I'm just 51. But Joey, talk about your love and passion for just running.
Yeah, so I got into it in high school. I ran track 1 year in high school. Nothing too serious because I was always playing basketball. I kind of got here and started running a lot more. I think that's partially because of the warm weather. Right. So yeah, I started doing it like a lot, probably consistently, like 4 or 5 times a week last year. But that was really like the start of my running journey. So I'd only run like 3 miles, 4 miles.
Only 3 or 4 miles.
And then it got like pretty big in the spring. So then I signed up for the Kiowa Island Marathon, and I was going to do like I did do this whole training plan, but then the dates didn't work out where we had practice. So actually I did run my first marathon. It was by myself. I did not get to do the Kiowa Island Marathon, but I basically ran out to like the edge of Sullivan's and back, and then that was like close to 20 miles.
Wait. So from downtown?
Yeah, from Summit Place.
This
was a crazy achievement. Yeah.
So you ran to Sullivan's Island.
Yeah.
That means over the Arthur Ravenel Bridge.
Yes, sir.
Over the Shem Creek Bridge.
Yes, sir.
Down, like, Just one going, just ran.
Yeah, I was just going. I stopped at
Okay.
a gas station once,
Oh,
got a
that's nice.
drink.
Yeah, you got to refuel, of course,
Yeah.
because that's important.
But I did run a sub 4 hour marathon. So yeah, I went there back, and then the final 6 miles were downtown. But running's just giving me an outlet. I don't know. It's something I enjoy doing. A lot of people hate it, but it's kind of a sense of relief for me. The stressors of everyday life, it takes my mind off stuff like that, and it just helps me be at peace.
So you're probably the teammate that your teammates hate in conditioning, because if they're trying to match times, I'm assuming, going to be the pace guy, because I don't think anybody could match that.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that are under their breath calling you bad names and telling you to slow down. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
I don't know. We had a mile test in the fall. That was Bryce Baker's extremely fast. Shout out Bryce. He ended up winning it.
What's
but,
your mile? What's the time?
We had to get it. I think we got it in like 5:20.
Okay.
I think was our mile that day. All the guards got it.
What's your best mile time?
I ran 5:06 one time, so that was my best one.
That's moving, Joey.
But short spurts, I will say I'm not the fastest. Like a lot of other guys, like basketball conditioning wise, is a lot different because you're planting all the time and stuff like that. So like when we're going like baseline to baseline sprints, I am not the fastest. They're a lot faster than me. But yeah.
So we get in foul trouble. We need somebody to play 40 minutes. That's a breeze for you because
I could probably help out.
Okay. That's very impressive. Now, do you run the Cooper River Bridge run here?
Yeah, I did that last year.
Just for fun.
I'll probably do it again this year. Yeah.
Just most people for fun like to do hobbies, and that's very impressive, Joey, to run from downtown Charleston to Sullivan's Island. I hate driving from downtown to Mount Pleasant much less.
Impressive feat.
Okay.
I did not think I could do that, but
all right. Well, that's good. And again, you're also a basketball player, so you're having to obviously run and work out there as well. So, okay. Take us on the bench as a walk-on. You go through the warm-ups. You're at the end of the bench. You're not necessarily, if your number gets called, it's because we're up by a lot or unfortunately down by a lot. So during the game, do you help your teammates because, again, you've prepped, what the opposition runs? Are you almost kind of like a coach at the end of the bench and, hey, when they're in this set, look for this?
Yeah, so that comes a lot. Obviously, biggest hype guys. That comes first. That comes a lot. Basically like blobs and slobs, so baseline out of bounds, sideline out of bounds. We kind of walked through a ton of those earlier, so I kind of know those by heart by the time we tip off.
Right.
So basically every sideline out of bounds, baseline out of bounds, I'm yelling out what they're doing. If they go into a specific set that we walk through, I'm kind of calling out. Maybe it's a stagger, maybe it's a flare screen, calling it out for our guys. Sometimes we go zone. If they have like a corner runner, yelling at our guys, making sure that they can locate the corner runner. There's a lot of different parts of the game that I can help guys because they're really close. Like some of those guys in the corner on our team on defense, like they can really hear us.
Right.
So we can really help them out. But yeah, just knowing different alignments that the other teams have during the game, whether it's during the game or like a dead ball foul, we definitely help out our guys that are in the game. Yeah.
I've always heard, Joey, that some of the best coaches are the students of the game that obviously watch a ton of film. Not necessarily, when you think about it, some of the, I don't want to say worst coaches, but guys who excelled as a player don't necessarily translate into being a good coach. Is it safe to say, because of what you have to go through as a walk-on, it's an easy transition for you to get into coaching because you know so many different sets?
Yeah, that's definitely an avenue that I'm definitely considering in the future. And I will say, like, since coming out of high school, like my knowledge of like the sport of basketball and like different sets, different actions, like I could name you like 5,000 actions by now that I know like by heart. Anyone can kind of tell me and I know what to do. So I think like, schematically you learn so much that maybe doesn't translate like on the floor, but it translates. And I would like to think that it helps us win games. And coaching is definitely an avenue that I would think about going down in the future. Just because I think basketball is really cool, and it's really cool, and it's more cognitive than a lot of people think. Yeah.
When you look at it now, because we have to, on this podcast, we're real. We keep it real here. We don't sugar. We just tell it like it is.
Of course.
It's a job now because you're in the NIL. You're getting paid to provide a service. in your case, it's almost like a unpaid internship.
Yeah.
Like you're gaining a lot of experience.
Volunteer work.
Volunteer work. So when you that's a good way of putting it, Joey. I like that. Volunteer work. You're volunteering your time to help somebody else be successful. For somebody who may be watching this, that may be in like, do I take a scholarship to D3 or do I take a guaranteed walk on? What would you say to that person in terms of helping them make that decision of whether they wanted to go your route and be a part of a Division I team?
Yeah, that's a tough crossroad that I totally went through. I'd just say do whatever, I don't know. Just think about it, pray about it. There's pros and cons to both, I think. Obviously, my experience, I would say choose the Division I team just because of all the perks you get, all the connections that you make, all the people you meet. It's a really cool experience, the places you get to go. I will reiterate that I think like being a walk-on is very circumstantial. I've had friends that did go be walk-ons that absolutely hated it. And then there's situations like me where I've become a walk-on here and I've absolutely loved it. And I think it's mostly about how you're treated by teammates, coaches, the people that you're around 24/7. So I've been blessed in that aspect of this. I'm a little biased, but there's pros and cons to both. You just got to kind of weigh like whether you're okay with not playing and being for the team, or if you really like want to contribute. I'd recommend probably going the D3 route or D2 route, but right. I mean, there's pros and cons to both. So,
do you ever dream about, hey, it's a situation where, all right, foul trouble, somebody gets hurt, we're down to our final 5 players, and you get inserted into the game? Do you ever dream about that situation? I know it's probably never going to happen, but you never say never.
You never know. I mean,
are you prepared for that moment when your number's called?
You guys better know it's going up. I will be shooting it. I think it'll go in, hopefully. But yeah, no, obviously you're always prepared if any crazy circumstance happens, but we're good with scouting purposes only. Yeah.
Now, after your playing days here, obviously at the college, the next 5 years, where do you see Joey Scarpitti?
I see myself, I'm majoring in business administration, but I see myself traveling a lot after school. I don't think I want to be a 9-to-5 guy. I want to start my own business. I have a few ideas brewing. I want to be in a big city with some of my close friends. We've kind of all dreamed about it. I have a really tight group of friends from high school. There's 8 of us. We're all in different places right now. A lot of them are back in Ohio, Tennessee. One's playing baseball at Creighton. But we're all really close. We always talked about being in the same city in our 20s. So hopefully being in the same city with them, traveling a lot, starting my own company, or going down the coaching avenue. I haven't decided, maybe a little bit of both. But running a ton of marathons. I will be doing that. Fitness has always been huge to me. And just staying close with my family, always being with them, keeping what's important close to me, yeah.
Well, traveling with the team and seeing how the interactions your teammates have for you says a lot about you. And obviously, like you said, I see those guys, cheering for you and wanting you to excel and succeed. And I think that just says, a lot. And safe to say, it's not easy being a walk-on. It's a thankless job. In the words of Joey Scarpitti, you're volunteering your time. And the fact of the matter is, you have to do everything that the scholarship players, do. And I mean, it's just not for everybody.
Yeah.
But if you have the mindset and the makeup of Joey Scarpitti, if you can run from downtown Charleston to Sullivan's Island, stop by the gas station to get a snack, what did you get from the gas station?
Oh, man. Probably that's a great question.
I'm thinking like water, something to hydrate, banana.
That day I got 3 Rice Krispie treats and then 2 Gatorade Zeros, I remember.
Yeah.
I had to get some carbs and electrolytes.
Yeah.
I was dying. I hit a wall at like mile 20.
Yeah.
I was doing well.
I don't know why somebody would hit the wall and run in 20 miles. But
it was a rough last 6, but we got the job done.
You got the job done. So, again, folks, just not human. One of my favorite humans, and definitely a very important asset on the men's basketball team here at Charleston. Just so you know, Joey, back during the season when the team was, we had some issues with, getting off to kind of slow starts.
Yeah.
Kind of getting in the hole. So just know, Joey, I've seen you in action. This guy can play. This guy can play. But anyway, Joey Scarpitti joining us here on this episode of On the Prowl. Appreciate it, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Shout out to CJ Fulton, Cougar legend. I told him I'd shout him out today, so he's the man. And yeah, everybody, all my teammates last year, all my teammates this year, everybody's great. I love this program. I love everything about it, all the people. So go Cougs. Thank you for having me.
There you go. Joey Scarpitti. Thanks for watching us. We'll see you the next time.